Welcome back to the ongoing series of Mailbag Monday, starting off today's opening with Fort Garry Brewing's Dark English Mild Ale. They describe it as having caramel, coffee, and chocolate flavors with a balanced hop finish. And that's a pretty apt description. I've had this one many times over the years, and I keep coming back to it because it's just a good beer. This mailbag is going to be another quite random one because several of the items were things that were sent anonymously to my P.O. box, including this one, which says Auto Accessories. The last mailbag had a fairly automotive theme, so let's see what this one is. It looks like it is more tire valve stem caps. This time it's a matched set of 4, which means it's a car set rather than a motorcycle set like we got last time. And I'm trying to think of uses for these other than, on the other vehicles around here. I could put them on some vehicles, but I wonder if I could 3D print some inserts on there to make potentiometer knobs out of them. That might be interesting. I don't know. Do you have any other suggestions for this kind of things? Oh, wait a minute, I just noticed. Are these different colors? I think they're different colors. Okay, that's interesting too. Okay, well, I'll put a link to a search link for these down below, as I usually do when it's something that I haven't ordered, or if I can't find it or whatever, and I guess, might as well just go quickly look at them. Sure, why not? Here's a quick search for tire valve stem cap, sorted by cheapest first, of course. So the absolute cheapest ones are going to be just plastic ones. But you can get some at auction for a couple of dollars if you want to, or not at auction for as low as $1.50 or $2 or something like that, if you're interested in this kind of things. Right, second thing in is something that I actually ordered myself. Interestingly, this seems to have come through a reshipping warehouse in Winnipeg. Soto Crescent's up by the airport. Okay. I haven't seen that before, I don't think. I don't think it matters, though, because it'll just be a company that works with other companies. Oh, a little LED strip and controller board with, what is that? That looks like just a piece of bare copper wire attached to a mini JST. Okay. So what does this little controller board do? Oh, is that a touch sensor? Let's look at this chip, see if it'll tell us anything. No, of course it doesn't. That would be too easy. Touch sensor module, DIY river table light LED driver module, 5-volt, 2 amp. Oh, from our old friend Alice. Interesting. This cost me a whole $2 Canadian. And I got that version. You can also get just the module and the coil without the LED strip, or just the module itself. But for something like this, I think it makes more sense to grab the whole bunch of them together, such as it is. What does Alice have to say about it? Uses high quality material, stable, reliable, blah, 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 blah. The sensing thickness of the barrier is about 3 centimeters with adjustable sensitivity. The thinner the barrier, the higher the sensitivity. Oh, okay, so you can bury the copper wire sensing strip fairly deep inside your project. I guess since this is designed for lighting up river tables, that's not a surprise. You can use it with any LED strip up to 2 amps. Okay. It has a few different modes by the looks of it. All right. Well, let's play with this. All right. We need USB-C for power. So it's a relatively modern thing. So I guess these two 4-pin plugs go together. That makes sense. Although it is labeled voltage BRG and V- over there. Why are there 4 pins but 5 labels? Oh, looks like there's some transistor spots that aren't populated. Okay, well, we'll just assume that this is correct because that's the one they sent with it. This, I guess, plugs into these here. But what's it for? V minus, D, O, and V plus. Oh, is that for controlling NeoPixels, WS2812s? I'll have to experiment with that in a bit. And what's under that cap? Same thing. And under that cap, 2-pin. So that will be for our little sensing antenna. Let's power this on and see what happens. So it's drawing like 10 milliamps. Okay. So as long as you stay close to it. Double tap, triple tap. Okay, so that's a weird kind of a thing. Yeah. You may not even need that sensing antenna because, yeah, it'll sense off there too. Oh, and now it turns on and stays on. Okay. I do not understand. I do not understand. Let me play with this thing a little bit, and actually, let's try and hook up some NeoPixels to this and see if that does anything at all. Hang on. Black and red and yellow for signal. And power on. Those don't do anything. No, nothing's happening. We've got a few random lights on over here. Let's just disconnect the data pin from it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So they're just coming on randomly, not being told what to do. So I guess it doesn't work with pixel lights. It's weird. I'm going to have to do a little bit more experimenting and exploring. But anyway, that's what that was. And if you want one, it's only a couple of dollars. Next thing in is another thing from the P.O. box. It says motorcycle modification accessories. Did I mention I haven't owned a motorcycle for a couple of decades? Still. What the? I am even more confused. Okay, now I really don't know. Right, nice anodized aluminum roller things with O-rings. I really don't know what these are. Do you have any idea what these are? There's two of them anyway. Thanks for the random mystery, I guess. Right, here's another thing that I ordered myself. USB charging cable. Hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully it's something interesting and unique and different. Not just a boring old cable. Oh yeah, these are not just boring old cables. These are a multi-headed cable. Okay, so the kind that you would use, I guess, if you have multiple types of phones lying around and you wanted to power different kinds of things. What do we got here? So on one end we have a USB-A. On the other end we have three connectors. We have a USB micro, a USB-C, and that Apple connector that they invented themselves because they just couldn't be bothered to use a standard connector that everybody else uses. Now, it looks like I've got two of the same cable. They are, what are you, about 1 meter long. Red, as you can see, braided. Okay. Wonder what quality these are. And why I ordered two of them. I mean, it's nice to have just one cable instead of a couple of them kicking around if you've got different devices to charge. And as much as everything is going towards USB-C, I've still got plenty of older stuff that uses the micro, like my tablet, for instance, upstairs, and several of the power banks charge off that, but most of the modern phones charge off the C. And of course, nothing that I own charges off that connector, so that's kind of a waste. But whatever. Maybe I can cut that off and put a barrel plug on there or something. 3-in-1 universal USB charging cable, multifunction cell phone charger cord line. I bought this one at auction for $1.75 Canadian and free shipping. And I got the other one also for $1.75 Canadian for free shipping, but that one was only 2 bids, but they both came from this guy, Gin Store. Figured I'd do a quick test on this thing, and I'm not really liking what I'm seeing. Putting about 5 volts in at this side. Looks like about half an amp being drawn, or showing happening here. My load is actually trying to draw a full amp, but look at this. That is absolutely horrendous. Half a volt drop across that 1 meter of cable, and all kinds of power loss too. There's supposed to be, as I said, a full amp being pulled through this thing. Wow. Maybe that voltage drop is causing problems, so let's try a dumb load. This is just straight resistors. At 5 volts, this should draw 1 amp. But through that cable, it's drawing it down even further, and, well, it's only capable of supplying, 830 milliamps at that voltage. But wow, look at that voltage loss across that 1 meter cable. It says high quality on there. Don't believe a word of it. I can't imagine what I'm going to use these things for, other than as a counterexample to warn you guys away from them. So don't follow the link down below to buy something like this, I guess, and see what that is. It's another one that came to my P.O. box. It says Nightlight. That could be interesting and electronical. Let's see what we got in here. Amongst all the packaging and padding. A bag within a bag. Oh! A whole bunch of little LED golf ball kind of things. USB. Are they all seem to be the same kind of white. Okay. So they're fairly power hungry little dudes. They're drawing about 130 milliamps each. Interesting. Oh, this one's only drawing 80 milliamps. Okay, so they're not all exactly the same. I wonder if that's just manufacturing tolerances. That one's 138. Get in there. That one's 99. Wow, interesting. What are you? 118. Okay. So let's see if we can crack one of these open and just see what's inside it. The top rotates. So can I get a spudger underneath there? There we go. It looks like we have 2 little LEDs in there, and I don't see any other components. Oh, let's see what happens when I do that. No, I'm not seeing any other components. Not sure if you can see that or not, but one is not nearly as bright as the other one. Let me just see if I can make that easier for you to see. Does that help? Yeah, one is not as bright as the other one. And this is one of the 80 milliamp hour ones. Okay, so it's not intended to have one less bright than the other. It just is in this particular one. 3.2 volts across the LED. That one's only 2.5 volts across, but maybe that's why it's dimmer. Let me do a bit more figuring here. These are curious. Well, that was interesting. I had to take a second one apart because the first one that I was looking at, the one that was only drawing 80 some milliamps, it's mechanically damaged. That LED is messed up, and you can also see some carbon showing through there, which is a clue to what's going on inside these guys. So you have the positive and negative voltage, 5 volts coming in from the USB. One of them goes directly to one of the LEDs. And after that, there is a little 35 ohm resistor, and that goes to the negative. And then also coming from the negative, we have the other LED, and it goes through a little 35 ohm resistor and back to the positive. Very, very simple little circuit, but the resistors are actually printed carbon. You can just barely see as a dark shadow underneath the solder mask to the sides there. And I guess why not? They've just silk screened that onto the board, I'm assuming, underneath the the overall silkscreen slash solder mask on there. Very slick and very simple, and just does the job. And there's what it's supposed to look like, both LEDs at the same brightness. Well, that's cool. I like those. As usual, when I don't know exactly where these came from, I'm just going to send you to an eBay search link, such as this one, that finds a lot of very similar little lights. And there we have the contents of another Random Mailbag Monday haul. Getting more and more random by the week, and I'm here for it. It's kind of fun. We've got these tire valve stem cover cap things, which, like I said, I may try and adapt to make them into potentiometer knobs, because they'd be nice little knurled knobs for that. And there's these mysterious, allegedly motorcycle parts. If anybody knows, please let me know. Otherwise, I will definitely use the hardware, and I mean, I don't know. I'll try and find a use for them at some point in the future, but I'm just kind of stumped right now. And we have these charging cables. These, I guess, are one of these. I wasted my money, so you don't have to. They're not great, but I guess they're a source of connectors, if nothing else. The wire is just way too lightweight on these things to even draw 1 amp full through. Then there is this little touch-controlled LED lighting thing. And I'm going to have to, as I said, do a bit more research. That research is going to be stymied because this chip is obliterated and I don't know what it is. But I'll have to do a bit more searching, and maybe I can find more about it. But as it is, it seems to be just a momentary on fade out light controlled by a touch sensor. Then there is these nifty little USB lights, and I do actually like them. I've got an assortment of USB lights kicking around here that I've bought over the years, and I think these might end up in one of those USB plus normal outlet wall outlets, just to act as a nightlight, because why not? Meanwhile, thanks to everybody who sent this stuff in. Thanks to my viewers, you guys, of course, as always. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and my YouTube channel members who help me buy the things that I do buy, and importantly, help keep the beer fridge full. That's an important function of this channel. Yeah, questions and comments down below as usual. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.